I did, and I appreciate what you're saying, Craig. And you prefaced your remarks by saying, if we're not going to move to withdraw, and if we're not going to seek dissolution, then, and I think that's logical. But I think, in my view, we have reached that crossroads, and I think tonight has only highlighted again where things have been, where they are, and there's a lot of uncertainty going forward. I continue to be concerned, and you raised, I think, which is a great one, about the stewardship we have for the finances of the Newtown Corporation, which were generated by the borough. I don't see much changing after tonight, in all candor. I think the issues that are out there in terms of an organization that has had a difficult board change are pretty clear. The recent history is pretty clear. But I go back to something I quoted at the last meeting from a study that was done on nonprofits. And it's a quote that reads, "The point at which a nonprofit organization's mission is to survive, quote unquote, is the point at which the organization should consider going out of business," close quote. I think we're there. I think the exchange with Mr. Tyrol a little while ago about the broader view the corporation is now taking with the larger business community was a good one. I think, if anything, it shows that the interest to be served by this new group, however they're going to do it, and I'm not quite sure how they're going to do it, do not serve the borough. And with that, every week that goes by, every month that goes by, there's more money spent of what was generated through the time and labor and the interests of people in Newtown Borough. And with that, we know from reading the bylaws that dissolution was considered when this organization was created. However, we have to act through our appointed directors. We have 5, the township has 6. And I would suggest to you that moving this thing off center might be appropriate through having our directors as a class, all of them removed. Not because anyone on there is doing anything wrong, but because we want to make clear that the directors going forward are ones we want to carry out a dissolution. And hopefully, and this is my hope, that this would result in a board meeting very soon where there could be a negotiated dissolution and a division of the assets between the township and the borough. Let the borough go its way with its interests served by its own organization, and let the township go its way with the broader business community that the Newtown Corporation now seeks to apparently represent. But that's only going to happen if we do something. And I think, to your point, we only have a couple choices, and we don't want to be doing this next month unless we absolutely have to. And with that, I'm prepared to make that motion tonight. Don't know where it's going to go, but I'll make it. And that motion would be to withdraw and dismiss our current board members appointed by the borough to the Newtown Corporation with an eye towards reappointment of members, and it could be a reappointment, meaning some already serving, with the purpose of seeking a dissolution. And that would be my motion.
This motion, is there a second? There is no second.
Like I said, I didn't know how far we got. So.
Gerard.
I was hoping to avoid adding to the length of this discussion because I made myself clear over the past few meetings that we've had about this, and I think my chief concern is the health and economic health of State Street and making sure that it's a viable place for our business owners and residents and visitors. My opinion hasn't changed on that. I also said that I thought that this was a time where the corporation, in the midst of some uncertainty, could regroup and focus. And at least I've heard that they're attempting to do that. I agree with Perry's view of having a couple people sit down with them and to say, what's in it for us? Because I'm not prepared to dissolve it today. What I'm more concerned about is what happens when they go away. There's going to be a vacuum there. But on the flip side of that is, I am concerned that the focus is moving out to Newtown Commons rather than on State Street and Sycamore Street. So I think sitting down face to face, two of you, and the new guys could be good to do that, may be a step in the right direction. Because one of the things I heard most recently was, the retailers want us to move forward in an effort to help them. And I think this first step may be a step in that right direction. So.
You may recall when we had our first joint meeting, I think the Newtown Corporation came to both the township and to us and said, what do you want to do? What do you want us to do for you? And I think over the last 2 years, I said this last month, I'll say it again this month, I don't know that we did that. So I still feel we're part of the problem, and I'm agreeing with you, Gerard, that there are benefits that can be derived from this relationship Whether or not we should fund it, I don't know, okay? $5,000 doesn't buy you very much, but I do know one of the first presentations that Chris Ortwine made to council, when we first were on council 2 years ago, January, was what is it that the borough gained from the efforts of the Newtown Corporation? And a lot of that had to do with the State Street activities and grant funding and what have you, so there was a lot accomplished. And we didn't invest a lot of money when you think about it in the grand scheme of things. Our investment of $30,000 got us a heck of a lot of return. And we may be shooting ourselves in the foot if we don't sit down and make a determination ourselves as what is it that we want. We haven't done that yet. And I don't know that anyone on council has ever sat down with our 5 representatives to have a discussion with those 5 representatives in terms of what is it that this council is looking for, what is the borough is looking for, and to help give them some direction. Mike, I would not agree with you to remove them because it would create a scenario that we don't have enough confidence in them. But I don't know that we've worked with them either. So I think we owe it to the standing members of Newtown Borough representing us with the Newtown Corporation, time with John and Perry to get the benefit of their thoughts because they've been doing it for a while. And John and Perry are new to council, and I think they might bring a different perspective to it. So I think that would be part of what I would encourage John and Perry to do.
Can I have a motion from council to authorize John and Perry to sit down with the Newtown Corporation and discuss issues?
So moved.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Basically what I said.
That's what you said, okay. Any further discussion on this?
Excuse me, comments from the floor allowed? Will you serve as a liaison?
This is not a liaison question, it's
Only reason I bring that up, Julie, is because we have not had anybody
You
from the
haven't had a
borough
liaison.
since May
okay.
attend a meeting in the form of liaison, and then prior to that was February. So in the last.
So you would, and I appreciate that, and I know,
Some input, we haven't gotten it.
Right,
So if you
right.
send somebody we'd love to have.
to have, would you like, yes, yes.
And there's a meeting on Thursday, right?
Yes, 4:30 at the town.
I would propose to council that we have this meeting very quickly, and based on the sense that comes out of the meeting, we can appoint a liaison going forward. Is that, meet with council? Okay, all right.
Yeah, subject to our kids' schedules, are we welcome to come to the 4:30 on Thursday?
Order's concert tonight for your-
Yeah, me
Yes,
too.
we-
Yeah,
yeah.
they're singing together. Yeah.
We appreciate that.
I would like to ask for one thing. Mr. Smith, you had suggested or gave a list of retailers on State Street. If we could get that information so we also can maybe hear what they're... All right, but maybe a little more detail so when we go to the next meeting or that meeting, we can work with State Street as well because I can appreciate their concern to make sure that they're being served properly.
Okay.
If we could do that, that would be great.
All right, so we have, we have a motion on the floor. Is there any further discussion on this motion? Okay, if not, I'm going to call the question. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.